Now this is BGC. This is this is right outside the gym, the place I'm staying. Not gonna say where, but let me flip this quick. So yeah, that's that behind me. That is downtown BGC. And today I wanted to go over some things that I really like about the Philippines so far. So to give you a little background, I came from Las Vegas in the United States in America, and you know, during that time I noticed a lot of things. Not going to go into all of them, but I'm going to go over in this video what I like about the Philippines the most already versus America, not officially, or just versus where I used to live. So the first thing that you got to know about here in BGC, now I don't know how it is in the rest of Manila and in the rest of the Philippines, but one of the first things I noticed here is the lack of trash, just the lack of litter, clutter, just there's no trash anywhere. The streets are clean. They're totally clean. Yeah, I mean, you just don't know. Some of you that have been to Las Vegas know what I'm talking about, but like over there, there's trash on the sidewalks, on the streets, and on the freeway, you know, floating garbage bags all over the place. Just utter, just disgusting. Absolutely something I'd always put up with, but until I got here, you know, I didn't realize, wow, this place is so clean, this is so pristine, you know. So yeah, like so just the cleanliness in general, and then where I've lived. Now I've lived about 2 different places so far here. I lived in an older building, but it was also still pretty nice. And everywhere I've been, on and off the streets, has been clean. Shops are clean, you know, streets are clean, apartments are clean. You know, just it's just a different attitude here towards cleanliness and towards you know, litter. You're not going to see a lot of litter around here. That, you know, I think I can count on one hand the times that I saw something disgusting on the ground. So, you know, and if you're coming here from American cities like I did from Las Vegas, it's a stark contrast. Like it's almost a relief, really. So that's the number one thing off the top of my head, and this is just off the top of my head. You know, I haven't scripted this or anything, so I'm just going by what I see so far. So that's the first thing, is just the cleanliness, the clean streets. Also, you know, you may have heard about the traffic here in the Philippines, and that it's basically, you know, utter chaos. Well, as somebody who just came from a city where the driving really is chaos, and it is very dangerous to drive out there on the roads. In fact, when I was living there in Las Vegas, it seemed like every time I got on the road, I nearly got into an accident at least once, every time I was out on the road. And it had nothing to do with me. I was abiding by all traffic laws. I was watching where I was going, and just, for example, somebody would just swerve 3 lanes in front of me to turn left from the far right lane. Stuff like that, you know. Now, I'm sure stuff like that happens in the Philippines too. I'm sure there's speeders in the Philippines, but I don't see a lot of that. I don't see a lot of speeding. I don't see a lot of really dangerous driving. Like, so yeah, there's not a lot of rules here or enforcement, and you know, and it is kind of every man for himself. But everybody here, they seem to drive courteously, you know, are considerate of others for the most part. I haven't noticed any road rage going on or anything like that, like in America. So, you know, so overall the roads are still safer. You know, like, you know, it's different, true, but yeah, from what I've seen. Now, I haven't driven myself, you know, so I can't completely make, you know, that judgment. And it's not going to be 100% accurate, but based on what I've seen so far, I'm talking about first impressions, it really seems the driving here is a lot more relaxed than where I came from in the U.S. So that's another thing too. You know, so the other thing, the third thing, at least in PGC now, I've heard all the horror stories. You know, there's countless videos out there telling about horror stories about how people got kidnapped or robbed, or they got they're victims of theft, whatever, scam. There's a lot of scamming here. That is true. There's definitely a lot of scamming here in the Philippines. You know, based on what I've seen. Just look on the dating sites. It's all over the place. But here though, there is a lot more safety here, especially from violent crime, than anywhere else I've ever lived so far. Like, especially Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, I didn't even want to leave my house. Like, it got so bad. It's gotten so bad. I didn't even want to leave my house. You know, I could not go outside my door without seeing somebody, you know, under the influence of something, or just, you know, looking like they I mean, I'm gonna keep that off those judgments off YouTube, because I don't want to get demonetized or anything. But, like, you know, and it really, it's not about anything political or racial. Really, just dangerous looking people. Period. Just like I take one look at him and be like, dude, that guy's looks like he's up to no good, or just, you know, and it's not just judgment, it's discernment, right? So, not always, but you can, you know, it's usually pretty easy to tell, you know, a safe person from a dangerous person. You know, we have judgments for a reason, and, you know, it's a survival mechanism. So, you know, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover, but, like, you know, especially, you know, when people act a certain way. You know what, I'm just going to stop it there. But farm wide, for the bottom line, I don't see a lot of unsafe characters where I'm walking around here. Now I haven't been around Filipinos a lot in my life, but I do know people, and the people I see here, they're hardworking. Most of them, I've only seen a couple people a couple times walking around here where I was like, you know what, I probably should keep my distance from them, or, you know, I might need to guard my pockets. You know, I haven't seen surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of people where I've felt that way around. You know, as opposed to Las Vegas, every time I went outside, it was like I'd see somebody like, dude, is that guy gonna rob me? Or, like, you know, is that guy packing? Like, I mean, what, you know, did not look safe at all, you know, and just, and again, it has nothing to do with any kind of bigotry or anything like that, or any kind of, you know, politics or race or anything like that. It's just, you know, I've seen dangerous people of all colors, and you know, I've gotten an eye for it over the years, and you know, and there have been times in the past where I have done things I haven't been proud of, and I have been, you know, I've done dangerous things, so, and have been around, you know, dangerous people that committed crimes, people that have, you know, were down and out, that like, you know, would not hesitate to rob or steal, you know, or get in fights or whatever. You know, dangerous people to be around. I have had an eye for them, and when I was in Las Vegas, I could not go outside my house without running into somebody that looked that way. So, you know, so here, again, I feel safe. Safety, security here, at least in BGC. Now, if you, I can't say about going to the province or some of these other areas. And yes, the horror stories are real; they have happened. But that's everywhere in the world, every country in the world. I don't care. It could be the safest country in the world. You're going to have crime. You're going to have, you know, you're going to be subject to a horror story if you're not, especially if you're not careful. So, you know, yeah. And then and on that note, bottom line here is be careful. You know, and that's what I've been doing. I've listened to the videos from the vlogging community, and you know, the videos thanks to them, I'm here right now because of those videos. And I've been following most of what they say, and yeah, you know, I've been doing all right. So next thing here, and this is going to be a longer one than usual, but the next, absolutely the next biggest, you know, and this is not in any particular order. The other really thing I like about BGC and the Philippines is just the price, the cost of living. Okay, I go to the United States, a package of beef will cost me $70, 70 USD, not pesos, USD, $70. Okay, that's like more than my internet bill. Okay, and now we're hearing about, you know, McDonald's costing $30, 20 to 10, you know, $10 for a cheeseburger or whatever. When you come here to the Philippines, when I came here, you know, I don't get any of that. I get, so right now I'm ordering Jollibee, right? It's a Filipino fast food restaurant. Now I just order meat. I don't order seasonings or any of the junk that comes with it. You know, I'm still carnivore, but like, you know, I order this from time to time, and it only costs me $5, I think, and I'm getting about as many, like, I'm getting about as much food as, you know, something that would cost $20 in a McDonald's in the U.S. It's ridiculous. Yeah, most things here are cheaper. I'm gonna buy a gaming chair soon, and you get those in the States, they'll cost you like $200-300. Here in the Philippines, it costs you like 40. You know, so there are a lot of, now not everything here is cheaper. Electronics are expensive. They are expensive. I'm kind of dreading having to buy a second monitor, but I'm going to have to. But we'll see how we'll figure it out. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, cost of living here, it is real. Even here in BGC. And BGC, here's the thing. BGC, this is the most expensive place in the Philippines. Hands down. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm new to this. But based on my knowledge of what I've gathered from everybody's videos and stuff, and what I've seen so far, this is the most expensive place in the Philippines. You could probably go out to the province or go out to a place like Dumaguete or Cebu, and it would be even cheaper, most likely. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, so cost of living, absolutely, and that's the number one reason I'm here, really, because, you know, being able to live in a place like this with this kind of beauty, you know, and being able to stay here for like $30 a night. If I were to stay in a place like this in, say, New York City, easily $300 a night or more, like probably more than that, honestly. In any big city, insert any big city in the U.S. Like the places that I've been to so far, that I've stayed at, would cost me thousands of dollars, and the place that I'm renting right now only costs me $1,000 a month, where easily something like that in, say, New York City which is similar, you know, in size to this, that would have cost me thousands of dollars, more than $3,000 a month, to open up just the apartment that I have, that I'm going to be closing soon, which I'm getting today, by the way, so I'm excited. You know, yeah, so that is the big thing. Cost of living is just, you can't beat it. You really can't. So I'm trying to think of something else that were off the top of my head. Forgive me, I just got done working out, so I'm pretty beat, but I've been working out consistently. I actually thought about doing a stream about it, but so yeah. Well, the other thing too. Now, I'll probably show you the gyms here. Okay, so wherever you live here in BGC, it's usually, you know, if you're living in one of these high rises, they've got good gyms. You don't need a membership unless you're big enough to where you're going to need heavier weight that they don't have. That's, you know, at a certain point, yes, you'll need to get a membership somewhere. But I haven't needed to get a membership yet to a gym. I've been able to just work out at the gyms here because they're so good. They have a full rack. None of the weights are missing. Like, everybody's courteous, respectful. There's just no drama. There's no drama here. There really isn't. Unless you get, unless you meet some bad people. There's really, you can come here, live by yourself. Enjoy the low cost of living. Walk around, intermingle with people, especially if you're a city guy. Now, if you're not a city guy, yeah, you probably want to go to the province. But if you're a city guy, this BGC is one of the best places I've ever been in my life. And I'm only saying one of the best and not the best because I have only been here for a few weeks. So, but already, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything in the world. This is one of the best experiences I've had. And yeah, that's kind of the other thing too. Well, you know what? I will say another thing. Okay, so I have done some online dating, and not going to go into details about what happened, but there were some tough things that happened. But you know what? Even then, it's still 10 times better than in the U.S. 10 times better. Not going to go into why that is or anything. I don't want to get demonetized. But I don't want to get into politics or anything. There's tons of videos out there explaining about why the dating world is bad right now in America, for sure. But even here, even with all the scammers, even with all the flaking and all the crazy stuff, it kind of reminds me of how it was back in America about 20 years ago. For me personally, back when I did online dating, about 10 years ago, but even then it's actually better than that. So you come down here, especially if you're good looking. I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but even then, and I'm not the youngest guy either, but I'm not the oldest either. So if you come down here, especially if you're in your 30s or your late 20s or your early 20s, you're gonna come down here and crush it, dude. And you look, and you're remotely good looking, you are going to slay here. I'm telling you. Just on the online dating, I haven't even really gone out and done, gone out into the, and approached a lot yet. But just the online dating alone. So, yeah, I mean, you get results here. They may not be exactly what you want, but you get results here. Unlike the U.S., where it is basically non-existent hellscape. I mean, basically, it's just non-existent. The opportunities they just aren't there. For at least for most guys. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. But with that, yeah, I hope you liked the video. This is a little longer than usual because I really had to kind of dig deep and talk about and really coalesce what I feel about the Philippines so far. And if I were to give the Philippines a rating so far, based on the expectations that were formed when I first started watching the videos, I still give it at least an 8 out of 10. It's still way better than where I came from. So I don't regret coming here. This Philippines is great, especially if you're a single guy or even if you're not. I've seen families here. People love this place, and for good reason. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks.